Hello, mate.
Hey.
How you doing? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I felt much better.
You had me worried, man, a little bit. It's scary,
Yes.
scary stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like it's kind of weird. Like I had tests last week, and they said like, yeah, it's completely gone, but without the CT. So, because I'm planning to traveling to Bali day after tomorrow, so I did the PCR test yesterday, and then unfortunately, it's still there. The virus is still in me.
Fuck, for real?
Yeah.
So the
So
the
I'm
test,
not allowed.
so the testing is just not at it's not. This has happened to 2 or 3 friends of mine. They get 4 or 5 different tests that say different things.
Yeah.
Is that a swab test or not?
Yeah, it's a swab test. I only do swab tests, but like I have to try it again in 10 days, and then I'm just like boosting my immune system because last night I feel my chest was tight because I've been out drinking and smoking. So
That's probably not wise.
yeah.
Not when you've been ill, right?
Yeah, I've been ill, but I felt better, and then it's saying negative, so I thought like, hey, let's celebrate.
Oh, yeah, that's just daft. That's just daft. That's Uncle Mo talking to you. That's just daft, for fuck's sake, man. Anyway, enough of COVID. But for real, how is this whole pandemic this year? How do you think it's affected you and the local industry, more importantly? I spoke to Tippy about this yesterday. Has it affected it? I mean, economically it has. From a creative aspect, it has, right? You can't get in the studio for days, right?
No, I mean, yeah, it's like a turning point to me, and then I'm glad it's happened, because like before my life was predictable. I mean, like I work almost like an office clerk, commit to a corporate. So yeah, I have a reliable income, and living in a comfort zone. And then these things happen, and things change. I have to survive. I need
Pre-potato head or post-potato head?
Post-potato head, I think. I have to survive now. I live apart with my wife. She's in Bali. I'm in Jakarta, and then I'm on new things now. So there's like a positive and negative aspects, but so far I think I'm okay.
Yeah, financially is short term. It's negative, but I spoke to Harvey an hour or 2 ago about Harvey's General Store, and that's an umbrella for everything. He wants to release film, he wants to release pieces of art, music, everything. So I think this disruption, which it is disruptive, and it's also heartbreaking because I think almost 1.5 million, if not more, people have died globally, right? Which is god awful. I mean, I think it's all the worlds combined, I think, apart from maybe the First World War. I have no idea on the statistics, but it's harrowing, and it's really, really difficult. But I think I'm doing things now. I mean, with you also, you're exec producing my album, right?
Yeah.
If I was still running a media company or doing this or doing that and all this other stuff I used to do, that I wouldn't have had the time to record a 3rd album. 8 years later. So like Debin and I wrote all that through Skype, which is insane. And then you were involved as an exec producer and co-writer on some stuff. And do you think that's a model that can go forward? Is it hard? To me, it wasn't hard work because we didn't bicker in the studio, Seven and I, which we used to. We used to argue in the studio. It was just music. You're on a call. We're going to do this. We have to finish this track, and that's that. And that's from a writing process. So I think that's a positive thing for music creation. But I mean, how did you find that whole experience? I'm not putting you on the spot, but that whole experience of how you and Zeb have had to work on, you and Zeb have had to work on this Mountain of One album. It's been tricky, but interesting, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't find it hard. And then most of the stuff that I play bass, that I do, I play synths and stuff. It's fun. I had fun doing it, you know.
Hmm.
And then I didn't realize before like what's my potential in the studio as a musician, because the last 5-6 years, I did an album with Zatua, but that's about it. Like, I haven't spent much time in the studio and writing music. All I do is, like, if I'm not working for Potato Head, I go abroad touring, DJing, you know?
Yeah, so, but that's done. That's done, isn't it? That's done.
That's done, you know? Like, I know at least a week, even though if I'm especially when I now I'm not allowed to go anywhere for the next 10 days. So like I just set up some stuff here at home and just write music, you know. I think that's the way forward.
So it's the flip side of this awful pandemic has been productive, right? It's been productive.
Yeah.
I mean, you, I, and Zeb have finished an album in a year, which is
also
and we're all working remotely.
Yeah, like this year, if I think I've been working on three different albums. You know, we managed to release it last week with the White Shoes. Done.
Yeah, tell me about White Shoes, because I heard that. I mean, to me, excuse my French, but you really fucked that up in a good way, because I listened to early White Shoes music, and now it's just like this fusion of jazz and rock and funk and God knows what. So is that all driven by you, brother, or no?
Not really. It's the songwriter itself. He's a genius, Ricky. So before, we have a friend who run this label called Soundwave.
Yeah. Hello, Maxie. He's so cute, man.
Yeah.
Maxie, it's Uncle Mo. Hello, Maxie.
Hello.
Bless him.
So, yeah. So our friend Miles was like talking to the songwriter of White Shoes, and then he said like, if your band could be more psychedelic or more experimental, I will sign you in my label. And then he got like, what the fuck do you mean this is shit? Then he got driven by that, and then he listened a lot to like African music.
Who's just the manager, the producer?
Who's just the producer,
right?
Songwriter, the bass player.
And he got it. He understood.
He got it. I mean, he got amazing reference. He got amazing knowledge of music. So I think it's all out in this album. It's also
so no ego.
No ego, like sonic wise and stuff, and then like they don't need to promote themselves again. They're big already, so it's there. And then like when we released the single and the CD, we are pretty amazed with how fast we are selling. You know?
This brings me to my sort of next question, right? It's just you and I have spoken about this fucking 100 times, I guess. You know, this. You know, from bands like Senyawa, and also, you know, people like you and other people I've worked with in Indonesia, you know, from a production and recording perspective, and White Shoes, etc. Why can this not get globally recognized? To me, it doesn't make any sense. Why can't it even be cult? You know, I'm working with Dip in the Pool, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, Annette Peacock and potentially 2 or 3 other Japanese bands for the covers album we're doing. So there's 2 different albums, right? There's the original album, and then there's a Japanese version of our album with Japanese artists. But they all seem to have, like, I said Dip in the Pool, and you knew about them. And I say to people like heads in London, like, you know, different people are like, yeah, man, they're incredible. Why is Indonesian music never traveled like that? Is it no support, no platform? No,
No, because
I don't understand it.
No, because Indonesian, they're known like really bad at marketing themselves, you know. Like
that's what I mean. They need support, some sort of.
Yeah, of course. Like they don't do PR. They just, I think everything that's done here is just let it out naturally. So this is how we are in Indonesia. Like if you
so they
also
don't play the social media influencer game, you mean?
No, no. I mean, like mostly, like if you see on the culinary also, like Malaysian and Thai are way more popular than Indonesian. You know, like if you go to London, how many Thai restaurants in there? Like,
yeah, how many Indonesian restaurants is there? The last time I lived in London, there was one.
There only one. You know, like Malaysian, there's plenty. Thai, there's plenty. So in terms of like creativity, film.
So, okay, all right. So is that the government's problem with not exporting culture?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, you spoke to me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you spoke to me about this government activation you're doing, right? So you were hopefully recording every native instrument in Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that will become a free-for-all sample bank, so anybody can use it.
Yeah, and then it's all in VST, so yeah, it's just freeware, so you can use it for free.
And it's free.
Yeah.
So that's the dude who used to run Gojek, right? He's behind that.
Yeah, we can say that he's the ministry, but this is like way above us, you know.
Yeah, but the guy you're talking to used to be a member of, or is a member of Satua, right? So it was your and his idea.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I find fascinating. I find fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do they not want to monetize that? They basically just want, they're trying to export Indonesian culture, right? I guess, and music.
Yeah, I think it's also what I like to do more, like to explore and then to work closely together with them. But like, so far it's been difficult, you know? Like,
so
even...
we lost you, Dea. Can we expect an Indonesian EDM records in 2 years? made by somebody from Spain? Potential's there, right? Fucking hell, can you imagine? And it'd be your fault.
That's good.
No, anyway. No, I find it a really, really interesting project. I mean, incredible how many instruments you have to record? How many is there?
For now, 300.
Jesus Christ. So not just guitar, bass, and fucking drum.
No. One instrument will take me to like 2 recording shifts, means 12 hours.
Yeah.
So 12 hours times 13, 7 days a week, nonstop.
Amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing activation, right? To do it.
Yeah.
It's super clever. So, I mean, this is a loaded question, but who's excited you in Indonesian music and art? Because obviously you're really into art as well as your parents are, right? They're art collectors, pretty much with your dad.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to commission a Widhar Riyadi painting or collage, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know, but it's beautiful. And he's one of the most beautiful pop artists I've seen globally. Yeah. You know him, right? Widhar Riyadi, guy from Japan, right? Yeah. So I bought a piece from him, and I've sort of dived more and more into Indonesian art, and there's something crazy stuff. Is any of that on a global platform? A global buyer's buying that? A gallery's buying that?
Yeah, I think so.
Modern art, really?
Yeah, modern art also, like you know Arin, our friend from London.
I know Arin pretty well.
Yeah, I think he's on Art Basel now.
Really?
This pandemic, I think it's like an online exhibition or something like that. You know?
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other breakthrough artists?
Yeah, there is plenty actually. Like sound artists, there's like Bagus Pandega or something, like doing like an audio sonic installation, art installation, and
Your wife Tansy manages a lot of these people, right? Or helps a lot of these people, a lot of these artists. I mean, is she collected or found or supported lots of new interesting artists? You know, and it's exportable. You think it could? I mean,
a lot of them are exportable. Like there's someone who do like a sculpture from a metal junk, and then he made like sort of like a huge mammals with just like how can I say, like a metal from vehicles.
Yeah.
So built into like a mammals, and I think it's very interesting also. And then there's like a girl, Japanese girl, but she studied in Indonesia, and
you've shown me her work. She's amazing.
Yeah, make like a mask. So it's like it's not really traditional, but you can see some Japanese touch in that. So yeah, it's also pretty exciting.
In the I think late 50s up to the late 60s, early 70s, there was a big, huge passion for Indonesian art. Like Bowie, Jagger, everybody was buying it. It was very expensive, very exportable. Did you ever hear the story about the Rockefeller child that got eaten alive? Is that folklore or is it true?
I don't know, man. It could be true. It could be, I don't know.
He never came home. He never came home. So he either went missing or he ended up in a cauldron. I don't know. But he was going around islands in basically like not acquisitioning, and I can't call it stealing, but taking pieces of like, you know, very, very rare Indonesian traditional art and stuff.
Yeah.
At the time, it was super, super expensive, right?
Yeah.
It was.
But he went to a place in Kalimantan where the native is Dayak, and I had a friend. It's like
that's where my wife's family are from, but she's not put me in a cauldron yet, man. Not yet.
Oh, careful with that, man.
But is it a true story or is it folklore?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure, but like it's such a bad idea going there to buy something or to take something.
I don't think it was buying; it was more pillaging. You know, it's it was just like giving them literally cents on the dollar for like this beautiful art and export. And I don't know the true story. I've read a little bit about it, and I know Bowie's obsession with Indonesian art and Jagger's obsession, but that was a lot later. But the Rockefeller story sort of blew me away. I was just like, wow, you're in Borneo. Do you know what I mean? And in what was it, the 30s or 40s? I don't know what year it was.
I can't remember.
I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea, and it didn't end well, right? And at the time, the family were the richest family in the world, and it was the son exploring and discovering Indonesian art because it was obviously, you know, worth its weight in gold. He was there to find art and nothing more, nothing less, apparently. But yeah, I find that story fascinating. I think there's a movie in that in some shape or form. Not that the Rockefeller family would be too happy about the movie, but that's how it is. So what's going on? What's your plan for next year, there?
I'm just finishing my recording studio. So
you got the SSL desk fired up yet?
Again?
You got the SSL desk fired up yet?
Oh yes.
Oh dear.
Oh yes. Like I'm nerding on cables now. There's this guy in north or south of Jakarta. He won a demo a cable yesterday. It's just like, if you want an audiophile result, you need like a power cable, like the right one, like the USB, like super high-end USB.
How much difference does it make?
Huh?
how much difference it makes sonically. A lot.
Okay. A lot. It's yeah. If you're like a non audio people, you couldn't hear. But like if you're like a sound engineer or audio nerd, sure you can hear. But like I don't know if I need it. But like it's insane. Like I just learned about this. Like a USB cable just to connect all your device to your computer. You have to spend like 340 euro just for one USB cable.
Jesus. What are the cables going to cost for the SSL or the outboard cables? They're going to cost thousands.
No, luckily it's come with a cable from the
full kit, right? Full kit.
Yeah.
Oh, and the power supply. You said the power supply was as big as you almost.
Yeah, but we found in England that they made like more compact and more sustainable power supply.
Sorry, viewers. We're talking about an SSL 48 channel, incredible mixing desk. So sorry if we got off track. But I mean, what a steal, and it makes everything sound maybe 50 times better. I think sonically, right?
Yeah, I think it's a very clean. Like sonically, you can achieve that in some like cheaper nowadays with some smaller summing mixers or something. But like I'm talking about the whole studio that I'm putting out, not just the SSL, but like all the outboard or the system or the clocking device, all the computer. It's going to be next level. You know, I want to up my game. So
yeah, but you just don't need that Pablo. Excuse me, that Pablo complex. Do you know that? Because you'll end up filling your mum and dad's house up with synths and cables and gadgets. You know, and your wife will divorce you. That's that.
It's Bali,
So when you coming home, man, and I've got one loaded question that I've asked everybody. Like through this weird year, right? Has your idea of true happiness changed? I mean, what makes you truly happy? Really? And has it changed? Has it shifted? Has it shifted?
Yeah, I think it's I find it's much more simple to make me happy nowadays than before all these things, you know? Like I was like picky about where I'm going to eat, this and that, where I go for holiday. Now with just like I spend most of my time home. So if I can make music and just spend time more with my dogs, I'll be happy, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But does the whole scenario not give you anxiety? Now you've just gone through having COVID, no?
Oh, I'm just trying to put myself a bit more positive, you know? So yeah, like I didn't feel anxiety, and I'm look forward to what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think next year. I was just talking to Harvey about it today, and sort of rushing last night, and I think there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I think everything will hopefully change by summer, but that may be a big ask. Harvey said he thinks it will be the end of next year. We'll see. I think it will be like a drip down situation where things slowly but surely open, and you can do. We lost Daya. You'd have to edit this. Oh, sorry, man. Things won't just go bang. They're open. Normal life is resumed.
No.
There's no fucking way. There's no way. It will be.
Hello?
Lost your visual, brother.
Yeah, wait. Now we're back.
It won't be an immediate sort of tidal wave of everything's open, everything's happy, the commerce is fine, etc. I just think it will be a slowly but surely process, right?
Yeah.
And Harv was saying he believes that even to get into a club, you'll need to prove that you are vaccinated or you're COVID free.
Yeah.
So that's a huge process for a boutique club to do, and maybe they couldn't even afford it, to have that process to get people in. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it's not just about club culture. It's about human nature at the end of the day, right? It's about how we I hate the word the new normal, but it's just like, it's how we react to that. And I think we need to be a lot more empathetic, and care a bit more, and not run into this head first and like everything's cool, because no, everything's not cool. I think it's going to take many years for people to bounce back economically, and the music industry. Apparently, the music industry is surviving. I've spoke to record companies and distributors and my manager, and the sales are still great. People have got money on the hip, and they're not going out taking drugs, going for drinks, going for restaurants, buying Comme des Garçons pants or whatever. They just sat at home in their pajamas. So that they will buy music. They will buy an extra subscription to Amazon or whatever, to watch TV or whatever you want to call it, content. But I think that's going to have a hard stop next year. I think people are going to, the whole commerce aspect of it scares me a little bit. It really does. There's going to be millions and millions of people trying to find jobs again.
Yeah.
There's going to be boutique. I mean, you've been a while for away there. But I mean, if I go down through Canggu and Batu Belong and even through Seminyak, it's every restaurant, every boutique company, everything is boarded down. I don't know if that's because they're broke or the expats have just run off home scared. I have no idea. So I think it's going to take a lot of time to rebuild locally, and I think globally. What do you think?
Yeah, also with Bali and the rest of the world, I think with especially island like Bali, where 91.7% of income coming from tourism. I think even if we are vaccinated or whatever, I don't think it's going to be back as it is immediately. It will take time, because also traveling regulation from foreigners and for Indonesian also to go to foreign country, I think it's gonna be different with the new normal thing,
It will 100% will be. I honestly don't think that they will let people go on a long haul flight unless they have a clean bill of health, i.e. they don't have COVID.
Yeah.
So, which is going to be tough, right? It's not like it's not like post Bali bombings. It's something that's just like, if I was living in London still with my family, would I get on a 15-hour flight? Absolutely not. I go to Cornwall, or I go to, you know what I mean?
I go to Leicester, bro.
I go to fucking Leicester. I'd go to Leicester rather than Bali.
Or go to Nottingham.
Yeah. So it's a difficult, from a psyche point of view, it's a difficult thing to do. But I think Australia's kind of banned air travel since to spring next year, right? Spring, summer.
Yeah.
And I guess it's going to be domestic travel, right? It's harder, that's it.
Yeah, so they have to rely on domestic tourists, and even now for domestic tourists to go to Bali, you have to go through this PCR test. Yeah.
Is that a swab test? Is it?
Yeah, it's a swab, but in the highest level, where they look your everything from your immune system, So, like me, if I just go with the antigen test, I probably can allow to go there, but now I cannot, not for at least the next 20 days.
Oh,
so
I thought we were going to have a trip on New Year's Eve. That's not happening.
I'm gonna be home alone with my dog New Year's Eve.
Wow. That sucks.
What can I do?
I'll look after Tanti, don't worry about that. Listen, Dea, I love you loads, man. I miss you. Take care of yourself.
Right? Okay.
Double up on those vitamins, get healthy, and I'll see you soon, yeah?
You too, bro.
Take care, mate.
You too. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.